What's up, it's you? For today's video, we got a full Pokemon Room Moves team. Now, this is not my bedroom, people. This is Magic Room, Trick Room, and Wonder Room. Some really cool moves there. This one's for Copmeister, and thank you very much, man, for being so generous on Twitch. This idea is for you. Now, a question for today's people for you. If you have, like, a field type move, what would it be? Something you'd like. So we got Trick Room. How about, like, a move that's different? Say it sort of, like, favors. What about Color Room? So only, like, certain color Pokemon could go first or last. Now, if you haven't subscribed, then hit that notification bell. Make sure you do and select all the notifications. Otherwise, you'll not be able to see the uploads, people. You don't want to miss the uploads. They're too damn salty. And make sure you have followed me on Twitch, people. We do all the streaming there. Today, I've got 2 battles for you, and I'm featuring especially all of these room-type moves around strategies on my team. This is the battle against Eckhart on my Discord, and we've got a Lombre lead. That actually rhymes perfectly. Now, I'm starting things off with the Claydol here. You guys know what Trick Room is, mainly. You know, obviously, a slow Pokemon move first. I'm going to explain the other 2 moves in a little bit more depth because I'm not sure like a lot of people would have actually seen them or actually know what they even are. So setting the Trick Room up on my Claydol, this is a physical Claydol set and it's also a flinching set too. We got Trick Room and Zen Headbutt, Earthquake just for some stab, and we got Explosion as well in case I do come across something I just need to go boom. Now I've got the item as Iron Ball, which is going to help me out in the Trick Room, and we got a physical Lombre. It's going to knock off my Iron Ball. Now that actually did a lot of damage to me, so I'm thinking the next one's going to be coming my way is a Waterfall. Let's go for the Explosion because Zen Headbutt really didn't do a lot of damage, and it's most definitely the Everlight. So Lombre is going to live that one, unfortunately. I thought it might after the Zen Headbutt damage, but that's the best I could do. So Waterfall's not going to hit anything because, well, there's not a Pokemon there. And I'm going to swap in my Phantom. So this was also a Trick Room user. I didn't really want to use up both my Trick Room users like so early on in the game, but I didn't really have too much choice. So I'm going to go for the Horn Leech. Obviously, I'm going to outspeed, and that is Lombre down. So this was a max health, max attack set. This had Brave Nature, and the EVs on the Phantom were exactly the same too. Now, Phantom, we've got on this one Trick Room, Destiny Bond, Horn Leech, and Shadow Claw. Ability Frisk and item, I actually went between Focus Sash and Big Root, if you know what I mean. So we got the Destiny Bond here. I know Swan is going to use some sort of like a flying type move, hopefully Gust, and it's going to go for the Brave Bird there, and that's most definitely going to take me out. Physical set. It could have been Choice Banded, I'm not sure. I don't think it really mattered because it wasn't running Everlight or anything like that, right? So we got a pretty even game at the moment. Swan is going to go down, and we've got 4 Pokemon and on both sides. So I've used up all my Trick Room, which is a little bit of a problem, but I do have some other rooms to use. Right, so we got the Snorlax coming out here, and this bit was pretty entertaining. So I'm going to bring out my Wigglytuff. Now, firstly, we're going to be using Magic Room on this one. So what Magic Room does, it removes all item use, right? So say it lasts for 5 turns, it's like Trick Room. You can turn it off and on like Trick Room, like a light switch. It basically removes all items being used, right? So say if you got a Leftovers, it won't activate Leftovers for 5 turns. However, there are a couple of exceptions, right? So say if you got a Mega Crystal, a Z Crystal, a Mega Evolution, a Primal Evolution, those sort of things still work. So there are exceptions, but it is a very, very unique kind of strategy. So anyway, we're going to be swapping into the Alakazam. More on that Wigglytuff a little bit later up. We got a Metronome Snorlax, people. You watch this. This was crazy. All right, so we got the Snorlax going for the Gravity right now. I'm going to be using Wonder Room. What Wonder Room does is actually swap the defense and special defense around of the opponent. So we're not going to take his stat boost into account. We're just going off the raw stats. So Wonder Room is now in effect, and you will not believe what happens here. Snorlax is going to go with Wiggly's big white finger, and it's going to go for a head charge. Head charge Snorlax. But remember, I used Wonder Room, so it actually went off my special defense, and Alakazam lived a Snorlax head charge. That's incredible. I'm glad to see you guys actually got to see that. So this is a special sweeping Alakazam under the Trick Room. I had to have something a little bit decent on this team because there was so many memes. We got Psyshock, Wonder Room, Miracle Eye, and Substitute, Magic Guard, and Life Orb as the item too. Max speed and max special attack. So this is like the speedy sweeping Alakazam on my team. Probably the best Pokemon on the team, I guess, for output damage, but it did go down pretty fast. So Snorlax is very, very bulky. It could probably take me out with like a Metronome Tackle here. It's going to go for a punishment, and my Alakazam is not going to be able to live that one, and it's down. Man, I think the best part about that matchup was Snorlax go for the Metronome Head Charge and Alakazam actually living it due to the Wonder Room. So Wonder Room's really cool. As I said, it doesn't take like stat boost into account. They will retain on the original stat, right? So you can go for Wonder Room and say like you went for a stat boost, a Sword Dance, it would still stay on the attacking side, right? All right, so we got the Snorlax go for a nut. This is this bulky ass Metronome Snorlax. We need to get rid of it because literally it could do anything. It could do one-hit KO moves. So we're going to put that to sleep and we're going to get my Shroomish strategy going. Now this Shroomish was actually meant to be for the Trick Room strategy. Trick Room is not actually happening at the moment, so this is going to be a little bulky sweeper under Trick Room. So the Shroomish actually did pretty well. I got some pretty good entertainment with it tonight. We got a Sword Dance, Max Health, Max Attack sweeping set. We got Spore, Facade, Wake Up, Slap, and Sword Dance, as I mentioned, and we got the ability Poison Heal and Toxic. So the Poison Heal not only heals my Shroomish, right, it actually powers up the move Facade, and Wake Up Slap actually is powered up by Spore, so you can put them to sleep and then give them a little slap around the Snorlax face, and that is going to take it out in one shot. That actually did double base power. It's a crazy move. All right, so getting some more Poison Heals on my Shroomish, and we're in a pretty good spot at the moment. So I ran Max Health on it too, so it's reasonably bulky. Not super bulky, but it's reasonable. Now we've got the Vikavolt coming out. The Vikavolt, that's its Galar form, people. That's its Galar form revealed. So I'm going to call it Vikavolt now. So Vikivolt's going to go for a, I think this is some, probably Bug Buzz or something like that, Savage Spinner or Bug Bite. I'm not sure. It's going to be, you never know, people. Like, my audience like to troll me and use, like, they use, like, meme sets against me now. So it's hard to predict. All right, so I'm going to get encased in a cocoon, and then it's my Shroomish down in one shot. Not much I could have done about that. Shroomish did very nice getting rid of that Snorlax. So Shroomish actually did something amazing, but it's later on the video. You got to check it out, people. You got to check that blooper section up. All right, so we got the Wigglytuff in here. I'm going to see that Buggy MZ, which I already know, which is bugging me a little bit. So I'm asleep. Oh, that's right. I got put to sleep. So on this Wigglytuff set, we have as follows: Magic Room, Pain Split, Toxic, and Hyper Voice. We got Max Special Defense and Max Defense. Now, Magic Room usually gets rid of the items, right? So it's not a really great move. So I thought if I run Red Card as the item, I could use my item up and then say I don't have an item. It wouldn't really matter if I was under the red room, the freaking Magic Room, the Red Room. I just came up with an idea. The Red Room, people. Red Pokemon get an attack boost. Red Pokemon get an attack boost. That's awesome. The Red Room. That actually sounds really good. Anyway, so we got a special Regirock coming in here. I'm going to be able to tank this every day of the week, and we're going to go for the Magic Room. Now, Magic Room is really cool because it works with my Blissey. This Wigglytuff and Blissey combo was absolute. It was really, really mean. I'll explain in a second. So we got this Ancient Power Regirock. I'm hoping it doesn't get a boost because it could sweep my team. And I'm going to pop out the Toxic on it. So I can go for a Pain Split. Regirock's got some nice health back. So the idea, I'll be able to explain my Blissey strategy in a second. We got we had the Magic Room up for a couple of turns, and we got the Toxic up on the Regirock. Now, what I was doing, obviously, I was trying to wait for my health to go as low as possible, and then I could get the Pain Split off against the Regirock, right? So Wigglytuff's already got a lot of health, so since I run Max Defense and Max Special Defense, right, it was actually very bulky with Pain Split. Now we got another Ancient Power from Regirock. Regirock is actually starting to like lose PP on that move too. It's only like 8 PP and stuff. I'm going to leave it on 69 health, which is awesome. Now we're going to swap out the Wigglytuff, and we're going to go into Blissey. Now this is an Assault Vest Blissey. Let me tell you why this works for. It's a troll, basically. So Assault Vest is not going to work under the Magic Coat, but it's going to be able to use Soft Boil, right? And then after the Magic Coat, actually, Magic Room. Have I been calling this Magic Coat? I apologize for that. They're very, very similar. So, as I was mentioning it with the Magic Room, I nearly said coat there, Blissey has Soft Boiled and Assault Vest, right? Now, the thing about the Assault Vest being under the Magic Room, obviously it doesn't get the effects of Assault Vest, but it can actually carry the item. So, under the Magic Room, it can use Soft Boiled. So, after the Magic Room actually wears off, I can't use Soft Boiled, but I'm very, very bulky on the special side. Now, I thought this was pretty funny, because I could sort of like trick people into thinking that I didn't have a Assault Vest, and in one battle, I had someone use like Quiver Dance 6 times, I think it was, and their attacks were doing nothing because I had an Assault Vest on there. It was super funny, and very, very interesting that you could use like an Assault Vest and Soft Boiled on Blissey at the same time. It's quite an interesting move, but it's very, very situational. So we've got a physical Vikavolt here, and they call it Vikavolt, and it's going to go for the Wild Charge. I'm able to just get one Pain Spit off against it and get a little bit more damage on the Vikavolt. Now, this Wigglytuff set, I think I've already mentioned that one. Actually, we've gone over all the Pokemon on this team. It's desperately trying to take out my Wigglytuff, and Wigglytuff can go for another Magic Room here for my Blissey. Blissey's my last real hope here. Wigglytuff is literally on its last leg. So this was a really good example of what was going on. So setting that Magic Room up, now all the items in place actually couldn't work. So that whatever item that Weezing has right, it was not going to come into effect. So it's going to go for the Sludge Bomb, and unfortunately my Wigglytuff is on a low amount of health, and that's super effective. So down goes my Wigglytuff. All I've got left now is my Blissey. Now, Blissey is a very special defensive wall, especially this one. Now, I was thinking, what can I do here? Should I go for a softball this turn, or should I just attack it with a Hyper Voice? I decided to go for the Hyper Voice. Oh, I probably didn't say what my step was. We had Hyper Voice, Seismic Toss, Softball, and Dazzling Gleam. Natural Cure as the ability, and a item as Assault Vest. So go for the, I think they did around the same damage, right? So we're going to toss Weezing to the moon and back, and we've got Hyper Voice and Seismic Toss almost doing like the same amounts of damage, right? So we got the Sludge Bomb from the Weezing. It's not doing much at all, and I can go for a Softball with the Assault Vest, which is awesome. So when the Magic Room actually does run out, I should have a lot of health back, and obviously my Assault Vest is now back in place. So these Sludge Bombs from the Weezing, you know, they're not going to do too much damage to me. All right, so it's going to unfortunately poison me with the Sludge Bomb, and I'm going to get a Hyper Voice off against the Weezing. Now, Weezing doesn't have very good special defense at all, so I knew that I was definitely, in the end, going to win this matchup. It was that Vikavolt that was physical was, like, worrying me a little bit, because Weezing had hit me with, you know, hit me with a couple of Sludge Bomb, but it was the Toxic that was actually doing... Toxic actually did as much damage as their Sludge Bomb. So we're going to go for another Hyper Voice on the Weezing, and Weezing is down, and we got the Vikavolt left, and I've got my Assault Vest Softballed Blissey left. It was very, very fun to use, people. I suggest you try using Magic Room out, see if you can come up with cool strategies. Now, also, I did come up with a cool strategy. If you guys didn't check out my Rampardos sweep, I actually used Struggle Only, right? So, I actually set it up so I'd be able to use the Rock Polish. I used Rock Polish before with my Rampardos, and then the Magic Room run out, and I had a choice item, right? And then I could only struggle on Rock Polish. So that was a pretty fun strategy I did too. Alright, so that one's pretty much over. I hope you guys enjoyed that first game. I was able to get through just with the Blissey. This is a battle against the Enchanted Rock. So we got a double Claydol lead here, which was pretty dang cool. Now, this set was, as you guys know, it's a physical one. I have no idea what this set was going to be, so it's going to go for, I was guessing like Stealth Rock or something. It's going to go for a Sandstorm. So I'm like, okay, that's not that bad. I wonder if it's got like Light Clay or something like that with Reflect and Light Screen and stuff too. Alright, so going for my Trick Room, regardless, I want to get this Trick Room happening. Now, I've got Explosion, which would be neutral against it, and I've also got Zen Headbutt. I thought, okay, I might be able to get like a flinch with Zen Headbutt, get it down a little bit, and then go for Explosion. However, it's going to go for a Toxic, which is a little bit annoying, so I thought, okay, that's a little bit annoying, but if I got the Trick Room up, I can always go Explosion and do as much damage to it as possible. Kaleido's it's fairly bulky Pokemon, and it's got some decent, it's usually like got Earth Power or Psychic, one of those two moves. A lot of the time it normally runs like Stealth Rock, Earth Power, or Psychic, or not all three. It can sometimes only have like one special attacking move. Anyway, so we've got the Cacturne coming out. This was a Sand Veil Cacturne. I'm going to go for the Explosion. Obviously, as soon as I seen the Cacturne come out, I knew this was going to be the strategy, and thank goodness the Explosion does not miss. Cacturne is going to go down. Man, if that missed, I would have been super salty there. I actually asked them after the battle if it was Sand Veil, and they said yes. So that's the only reason I knew it, because I asked them. Anyway, so I'm going to bring in my Wigglytuff here. Now, we do have the Trick Room up. This time, I don't want to burn both my Trick Room Pokemon off so early like last time. And they're going to bring out a Yavato. I was like, damn, what's this flying bacon going to do to me, people? We're going to frisk out that leftovers. So I thought, okay. I want to get rid of that leftover. So here's a classic example. I can go for the Magic Room here. We got Yavandle going for the Protect. I'm like, what is this set going to be? Like, what is this troll set? So we're going to go for Magic Room. It's cool how they've all got, like, the Trick Room, Magic Room, and Wonder Room. They've all got the same animation, right? But the little square, like the little flashing squares are all different colors. So Trick Room's like a clear kind of color. Then that one's like a, I don't know, sort of like a foggy sort of color, and Wonder Room's like a purple kind of color, I guess you could say that. So the Yardle's going to use Toxic against me as well. What is this, a full Toxic team? So I'm going to go for my own Toxic on this Yardle, because it seems to be like a stalling set. I wonder if it's got like Oblivion Wing, just like for recovery and stuff like that. I don't know. It's got Toxic and Protect. I don't even know what sort of set this is. Maybe they can, you know, let everyone know in the comment section. It'd be pretty. I'm sure it'd be pretty funny. So I was thinking, I can't really do too much of this at all. What should I do? So I swap a Pokemon out. Should I try and get rid of it with another Pokemon? Decide to go into Blissey in case it had Oblivion Wing, right? It's going to go for a Skydrop instead. So it's Skydrop, Toxic, and Protect. So it's a stalling set. Now, obviously, they're going to Protect and then get the Toxic damage up. And they're going to take me into the sky and get some more Toxic damage up. But I actually swapped my Pokemon out. So the only one getting hurt by the Toxic is actually them. Now we got the Blissey going for the Seismic Toss, and Yveltal is going to actually take some damage from that. Now, the Sandstorm is going to go away. Damn, I need a drink, people. I've actually lost my voice a little bit today. I do apologize for that. Okay, I'm going to swap out my Blissey, and we got the Wigglytuff coming in here. So, Yveltal obviously has got his leftovers back now. I think the the Magic Room is off, and I knew they would go for a double poison there, and Yveltal is going to go down to the Toxic damage. So that was good. I'd actually dodged on my Blissey. Not that it really mattered too much, because Blissey actually has a natural cure, right? So it would have been able to swap out and heal itself anyway, so it wasn't too much of a big deal. Now we got the Rampardos coming out. Rampardos is a very, very scary Pokemon. You got to take it out quick before you get hit by a Head Smash. Head Smash actually misses. So now we're going to go for Magic Room again, getting rid of all the items. So I wonder what item it actually has. If it's got something like Choice Band, I'm very, very thankful that it doesn't have that anymore. Not that it matters, because you're probably going to get wrecked by it anyway. Alright, so Rampardos is going to connect with the Head Smash, and Wigglytuff is definitely not going to live that one. The only good thing about that, Rampardos is a very slow Pokemon. It's not very bulky, and it takes a lot of recoil from Head Smash, right? And we're going to swap in Alakazam now. So I can go for a Psyshock, or I can go for a Substitute, or I can go for a Wonder Room. So I decided to go for a ballsy Wonder Room here. And the Clawitzer is going to come and say, oh, Field, that was awesome. That was pretty awesome. Alright, so we got the Wonder Room up, so I was wondering what to do. Alright, so we got that Defense and Special Defense swap. I'm going to go for the Psyshock here, which is pretty... I thought that with Psyshock and Wonder Room was actually a pretty funny strategy. Alright, so we got the Dank Pulse coming from the Clawitzer, right? And yeah, I'm going to get one-shotted because Wonder Room actually swapped the Special Defense and Defense around, so that actually hit me on the defensive side. So I thought... I got to do a test here, people. I'm all for the memes, and I've got to do a test, right? Since I had the Assault Vest still attached, right, I was like, I wonder if Blissey can actually live this. It didn't live. Alright, that's probably the first time you'll ever see Blissey go down to an Aura Sphere before. So I wanted to test it so badly, but it didn't work, people. I got absolutely shreked. So I'm down to only 2 more Pokemon. I've got to get back into this game. Alright, so we're going to go for a swap on the Clawitzer. I actually went for the Trick Room here. So we got the Decidueye coming in. Now, the good thing about Decidueye, I should be able to hit that with the Shadow Claw nice and hard. If I got a critical hit, it'll take it out in one shot. But I wasn't too confident about that. Now, the Decidueye does have Sucker Punch, which can be annoying. I'm going to go for the Shadow Claw. I did actually expect the Sucker Punch, but that didn't happen. Now we got the Decidueye going for Attract. So I was like, okay, that's a little bit annoying. What sort of strategy is this going to be? So they had some pretty cool strategies on this team. So Phantom's going to fall in love with the Decidueye. There's really not much I can do. I don't want to swap out. So I got to go for the risk and hope I can take the Decidueye out. And thank goodness I do not get infatuated. And the Decidueye is going to go down. So we got the Clawitzer and the Rampardos left. So that was... some scary Pokemon. Oh, we also got the Claydol left too. Alright, so we got the Rampardos coming back in here. I got Horn Leech on this thing, so I'm like, okay, it's in pretty good range for me to actually take out with the Horn Leech, and Horn Leech probably just does enough to take out Rampardos, which is really cool, and I'm going to get some health back, which is really nice too. Now, I still have that Destiny Bond intact too for the Clawitzer or the Claydol. So Claydol's going to come out here, and we got two. It's like a 2-0 at the moment. Going for the big Shadow Claw and Claydol, hoping for the crit. Does some pretty good damage, like considering. And now we got the Claydol going for the Toxic. So Claydol didn't go for Psychic, which is interesting. So like maybe this Pokemon, like maybe this build doesn't like have Psychic. Maybe it's got Earth Power or something along those lines, right? Anyway, regardless, I can go for a Horn Leech against this thing or go for a Shadow Claw. I can do like either. I can get Horn Leech for sustain or go for damage with the Shadow Claw and try and go for a critical hit. Alright, so wow, Clawitzer comes in there. I could have easily gone for a Horn Leech, but it doesn't. So I was thinking, okay, if Horn Leech is enough to take out Clawitzer, that'll be really good. But what if it doesn't take it out and it lives, right? That'll be kind of bad. So go for the Destiny Bond on my Phantom here, and that'll actually bury the Clawitzer, and then I'll have 1 Pokemon left to deal with. My Shroomish will be able to deal with the Claydol, hopefully. Okay, so it's going to go for the Ice Beam, and that is my Phantom down. Phantom is actually a really, really cool shiny too, people. I really like it. I'd say it's probably the coolest shiny on this team. Like, Alakazam's boring, Blissey's boring. Claydoll's kind of cool. Wigglytuff's like a pinky color. I think Shroomish is pretty cool. I'd say Phantom and Shroomish would be cool shinies on this set. Alright, so we got Shroomish. Now, the only reason I use Shroomish is because it had room in its name, right? So I thought that'd be quite a funny Pokemon to use. I think it may have been suggested by someone. I can't quite remember who it was. I think it might have been Richard. Alright, so we got a physical Shroomish. You guys know what this set is. We're going to put that Claydol to sleep. So it's going to close all of its peepers. I think there's like, I don't know, how many are there? Like 6 eyes on a Claydol? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 at the front, right? So say, all right, let's look at Claydol for a second. So there's 2 at the front, 2 at the side. I feel like there might be like 4 more on the other side, or maybe there's another 2. I'm not sure. I actually don't know how many eyes. Can someone like answer that question? How many eyes Claydol actually has? I think I might have. It's either got 8 or a 6. So Claydol clearly only has Earth Power. It would have used another move before that. So this game is pretty much mine. It can't do any damage to me. I've got the Poison Heal, so Toxic is going to fail against it. And I'm going to finish it off with a Disrespect or Wake Up Slap. And that's pretty much the game. Hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. Make sure you check out the blooper after this and the bonus battle, because the bonus battle was actually done on Battle Spot, and it was super funny. All right, people, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.